Hello everybody and welcome back to Eastbook 1 and 2. This video and the next one are going to be a bit shorter than my usual fare because, for some reason, things seem like they take less time in this version of East 1 and 2 than they did in the version I played last time. So we're going to kick this video off with the boss fight. Okay, this is Conslard. You fight him the same way you normally do. Clip him around the edges, don't run into the center, or you might die. Either way, it'll be quick. Okay, there's the brooch that we need to use the mirrors in the teleport maze. And there's Volume Gemma. We still can't read it, though. And we're going to need to be able to, in order to finish this thing up. Thankfully, I have enough experience with this teleport maze that we're not going to be here for a little while. We'll just go in, grab the stuff we need, and then get out. Yeah, even moving slowly around here, the enemies are pretty speedy. Well, even having the game set to slow. And hey, here's our silver armor. We have all of our silver equipment back, but that's not the end of our treasure hunting in Darm Tower. That's right, East pulls a fast one on you. The closer teleporter to the start of the maze is the one that'll actually move you forward up the tower. It may look like I heal obsessively, but considering what game we're playing, I don't consider this to be an excessive precaution. I think it's actually easier to get run over by a bad run of bumping in this game than it is in East 1 and 2 Chronicles. And there's the Battle Shield, first of our Tier 5 equipment. Yeah, even knowing Darm Tower inside and out, it's still fairly easy to get yourself killed. I guess when they said they wanted to make a game that was easy to play, they didn't necessarily mean they wanted a game that was easy to beat. And this is the path to Rahdo's Annex. It counts as being outside, but I want to explore to make sure of one thing. I can't afford to miss any of the Tier 5 equipment, so I'm just gonna take a quick peek around. And you could afford that even less in the original versions of this game. Because if you didn't get all of the battle equipment, you were still at level cap, and you would be unable to beat the third boss of Darwin Tower without it. I once made that mistake. Yep, and there's Manhã and Zeptic in the background. Okay, now this was the area in the PC-88 version of Ys where if you didn't have the timer ring, you would probably die. Because those things were way fast. Okay. So, to use the evil ring, we need to equip the blue necklace, which defeats dark magic, and then equip the ring.
Adol, it's me, Lair, the poet. I knew you had the courage to save me, but to be honest with you, I allowed myself to be caught. I didn't know any other way to find you. I have something of great interest for you. You are aware of the books of Ys? But not everyone can read these books. I have a pair of glasses that will allow you to do so. You have shown your courage, and I see you as our only hope. Please, take the glasses. The demon who locked me here is Darkfact. He is plotting to use his evil powers to make this land his own. You must defeat Darkfact if we are to have any chance.
Okay, so a couple of things. First off, Pym sold the silver armor to Darkfact, which makes Pym probably the worst RPG shopkeeper ever. I mean, others will charge you an arm and a leg, but they won't sell vital pieces of equipment to the enemy, as far as I know. Second, we got the glasses, which means Adol can read. Ah, the dark and eerie stranger. Okay, here's that inconsistent, stuff again. It was 6 huge demons. And they still refer to the monsters as demons sometimes. It's just so puzzling. Ah, I hit the button again. Bear with me, folks. Sometimes I just do that sort of thing. Okay, so the goddesses disappeared for some reason. See Ys Origin for the details. Really now? Well, we know a Gemma, so let's go see him. Now, normally I'd cut out running back to Ruda Gemma. but I kind of want to talk a bit about the voice acting in this game and other games around the same time. I'm going to set my speed to fast just to, not leave you here forever. Okay, since I can't seem to make subtitles work in YouTube, Luda Gemma was voiced by Bruce Lanoil, who was a longtime puppeteer and employee of the Jim Henson Company. And Rhea is voiced by Stevie Valance, who is often credited under the name of Louise Valance, just so everyone knows it's a woman, I guess. And she has been in a bunch of stuff. I don't quite remember the specifics of her voice acting career. Now, the thing is, I've said this before, Ysbook 1 and 2 is kind of unique in that it actually got professional voice actors and professional actors to do the voices for the game. In most other cases, for localized CD games, they just grabbed whoever was around the office, as in the case for most of the other localized titles for the Turbo CD, and even sometimes the Sega CD. Working Designs had a different way about going through the voice acting process. As their process, they didn't really hire professional voice actors, and they just didn't grab whoever. Their system was the "Hey, I know a guy" system. Because what they would do is they would take a look at whatever game they were meaning to publish, look at the voices, and go, "Hey, we need this kind of voice for this character. How can we do this?" And what would happen is the actual employees who worked at full-time at Working Designs would just be like, "Hey, I know this guy who probably has the voice we're looking for this character in this game," and they'd try him out and give them coaching, and if it worked, it worked. And the thing is, it actually did work for quite a long while. Whatever John Truitt is doing these days, I hope it's deliciously sinister. That was really the main upside of the Working Designs voice acting process. Well, localization process, I should say. There were downsides. We sure found your book.
My father has told me of our land's legend. He said that the key to defeating the demons lies in the Books of Ys. There are many mysteries left to unfold, but the books can be your guide. This is a charm that has been handed down from our ancestors of long ago. Take it with you. It will help you break the evil curse of dark fact.
Yeah, Luda Gemma has a wounded portrait thing in later versions of this. The problem with Working Designs is that they felt the need to meddle. Just screw around with the game mechanics in ways that they were very much not intended to be screwed around with. So, basically, every single one of the games they imported, well, almost every single one, had their difficulty jacked up basically without any regard for the original balance of the game. And there were some very, very notable problem games in this regard, such as Exile and Exile 2, Lunar the Silver Star Story Complete, well, Lunar the Silver Star Story, Vey, Silhouette Mirage, Raystorm, Popful Mail. All of these got this kind of treatment, and it was so egregious to the point that there's a guy who's currently going around doing ROM hacks to actually change these games back to their intended difficulty. He calls his series of hacks the unworked designs hacks that, I can't really do much about the translation. He's not a translator. But he can at least make the gameplay go back to what it was actually supposed to be. It's not like Working Designs was unique in doing this sort of thing. Even up into the PlayStation era, there were plenty of people who felt the need to enhance, quote-unquote, the difficulty of certain games. I think one of the most notorious examples from the NES era would be The Adventures of Bayou Billy, but I've already talked about that. And there's actually a cheat code in Brahma Force Assault on Beltlogger 9 for the PlayStation that it allows you to reduce the game back to its original Japanese intended difficulty. Really, the only games I can think of that were actually made easier for the Western release were Final Fantasy games. And I think the only really major one in that regard was Final Fantasy IV. I guess there was a time when I was more interested in, like, having things actually be literal to the original Japanese in terms of things like text localization, but after seeing the more literal translation of Final Fantasy VI, or at least the botched attempt at doing that, I think I'm gonna stick with the Woolsey script. Okay, that single tile corridor there, that's full of monsters, and we're going to have to fight everything head-on if we want to just run through it normally. So this is where we use the mirror we picked up. In this version, you can go without using the mirror, even though you'll probably take some damage. But in all other versions, using the mirror is mandatory, or you die. I know I've been saying, do this or you die a lot, but this is a computer game that was made in 1987. This was roughly contemporary with Ultima 5. It's just the kind of game that's pretty okay with killing you. Speaking of localization, I don't know exactly who did the localization for this version of Ys 1 and 2, but they did a pretty fine job of it, especially for the time. The MS-DOS localization of this game was alright too, though they did make some name changes, like Adol was Aron and Darm Tower was the Tower of the doomed and Darkfact was called Maleficus or something. But I can't really argue with most of that, or any of it. This is the floor that had what I was checking the previous floors for. Just take this nice and cautiously. Fight all of these guys. Re-equip the blue necklace. And there's the battle armor. Okay, we're just going to make sure to equip this thing. Make mincemeat of a few more of these monsters. And then we're just gonna make our way out of here to a place where it's safe to save. I've lost a save file in this area. Unplayed thing, I think, lost a save in one of these areas. It's just a death trap if you try to save in there. Okay, we're going to cut this off here, and next time we will be finishing up the Ys 1 part of this game. See you then. Goodbye.